All right, so this is on your focus on IELTS in your focus on IELTS textbook, page number 98, making the most out of memories. Okay, so it's also a talk, so there's going to be only one person talking about how you can boost your memories. Okay, so number 1 to 4, complete the lecture notes. Okay, use no more than 3 words for each answer. All right, so the 5 main memory systems encoding number 1 and number 2, you need to start with a capital letter because here encoding and retrieval and visuals are in capital letters. So number 1 and 2, what else? Okay, no more than 3 words. And the PQRST stands for, so QRT. So number 3 is something that starts with P. Number 4 is something that starts with S, obviously. Okay, got it. Now let's listen to that. Are you ready? Let me turn off the microphones and play the audio.
Unit 12. Focus on listening to making the most of your memory. Section 4. You will hear a lecturer talking about memory. First, you have some time to look at questions 1 to 4. Now listen carefully and answer questions 1 to 4. Use no more than 3 words for each answer.
Now, today we're looking at memory, how it operates, and how you can make the most of it. That's if I remembered to bring my notes with me. They're here somewhere. Don't worry, just kidding. Okay, let's take a look at how memory works. In order for you to remember something, your brain has to perform a number of operations. First, the information has to be encoded, that is, taken in and processed. Then the information has to be held until it's needed, which is the storage system of the brain. Finally, it needs to be retrieved so that it can be used. Most of us have problems with our memory at some time or other, and the older you are, the more likely this is to happen. Exactly how your memory suffers depends on which of your brain systems is most vulnerable. Another distinction we have to draw is between verbal and visual memory. Think about finding your way in a strange town. You may prefer to take in information verbally. For example, turn left at the cathedral, etc. On the other hand, you may absorb information better in the form of a mental picture. To make the most of your memory, you need to use all these different systems to the full. Another way of improving memory is with a method known as PQRST. This is a way of linking something you're trying to learn to what you already know. In this method, the P stands for preview, that is, glancing through the text before reading it carefully. Then Q for question, R for read, and S, anyone care to hazard a guess? Well, it stands for state, as in to make a statement. And lastly, the T stands for test.
In the second part, the speaker talks about how to make effective use of your memory. Look at questions 5 to 10.
All right, so this is the second part of page number 98, making the most of your memory. Okay, so number 5 to 9, you fill in the blanks using no more than 3 words for each answer. And number 10, you choose the correct answer. Okay, so number 5, okay, before reading an article, you should look, then it's like it could be an adverb, or it could be a preposition, it could be anything. All right. And number 6, when you have read an article carefully, you should do what? Okay. So it's like a verb based form. Implicit memory. Okay. There's something called implicit memory, and it allows us to learn information without verb ing to it. So it's got to be a verb ing, a gerund. Okay, and for this system to work efficiently, it's essential not to verb one infinitive. Okay, got it? And it's better to test yourself on things you verb. Okay, it's a verb. It could be either verb one or verb two, whatever, but it's got to be a verb. Okay, and here have a look. Which chart shows the percentage increase in brain cells of the mice who live in luxury? Okay, that pink one on the left is the normal one, and the green one on the right is group kept in the luxury. Okay, the percentage difference is indicated with a little bit of yellow or orange or something like that. So here 15%. So, okay, the difference is 15%. And B, the difference is 24%. And C, the difference is 40%. Okay, so let's listen. Let me turn off my microphone and camera and play the audio.
Now listen carefully and answer questions 5 to 10.
Okay, well, let's look at those 5 steps a little more closely. If you've got an article, say, to read, the first thing to do is to look through it quickly without worrying about every word. And when you've done that, you have to ask yourself, what do I know about this topic already? Only then should you read the article carefully. And when you've done that, you need to review the contents. That means thinking about how the contents relate to what you already know about the subject. Finally, you should make a habit of testing yourself about what you've read. The brain also has another type of memory system, which is called implicit memory. And this enables us to absorb information without paying attention to it. It sounds good, doesn't it? But there's a catch. If this system is to work efficiently, it's crucial that you don't make any mistakes while you're learning. If you're trying to learn a long list of vocabulary, for example, you may guess a few wrong meanings, and then your memory is likely to end up holding on to those wrong meanings. So the best approach is to only test yourself on what you know well. If you learn a few words at a time and gradually build up the list, you'll learn better than if you try to learn 200 words all at once. Little and often is the rule. Now, here's something that might interest you. There's been some research in California which suggests that living a life of luxury can make you more intelligent. Scientists divided a group of 24 mice into 2 groups. One group was kept in standard conditions, with as much food and water as they wanted. The other group was kept in luxury, with larger cages, comfortable bedding, and tasty snacks. And after 40 days, this second group of mice were found to have 15% more cell matter in the part of the brain that deals with learning and memory. Makes you think, doesn't it? So I'd suggest you go out and pamper yourself a bit before the exams. But seriously, I'd like now to look at some other research into the mechanisms of learning and memory.
That is the end of the section. You now have half a minute to check your answers.